Do you struggle with how to break up duties around the house? Are the chores in your house causing so much strife that the two of you can't seem to get along? Today I'm going to give you some helpful tips so that you can break these tasks up and make it easier for the both of you. Hi, I'm Dee Stevens. I'm a relationship coach and the author of The Created Relationship. I have a story about myself. We all come from a household where either our mother or our father did something in the house, and that becomes an expectation for us. We expect our households to be the same as the households that we were growing up in. An example of this in my own life was my dad always paid the bills. He made the money in the house and he paid the bills. He did the taxes, he dealt with all the finances. And later on in my marriage, I had problems with the fact that my husband didn't do that. In his household growing up, his mother did all the bills. His mother took care of the finances. In fact, she wouldn't even trust him to take care of the finances. It became a problem in our own household because I expected him to bring home the money. I expected him to pay the bills and do the taxes. And it wasn't like that in our household. He expected me to do that. So sometimes I was paying the bills and I didn't have enough money for this. I would get really resentful that he was not paying attention to what was going on with the finances and that I was having to do the whole thing. And this was just quite a bit of difficulty in our relationship. Had I had these tools that I'm about ready to tell you, I think it would have been quite a bit different in my marriage. I will give you some helpful steps that you can take so that you can break these tasks up into bite-sized pieces that you and your partner can take on so that they are not causing so much trouble in your marriage. The first step you should take is to write all of the chores that you have down. Make a list of all the little ones, the big ones, the things that need to be done yearly, some of the tasks that need to be done just monthly. Just take a long time just writing down all the tasks. And I would suggest you do this with your partners so that they can, some of the things that you may not realize that they are doing that get written down. And some of the things that you are doing in your house are written down and they can see what's being done that they don't realize you've been doing for all these years. Then you need to eliminate some of these that are not vital. If there's something that you say needs to be done every week and your partner says, no, that only needs to be done once a month, maybe you start talking about some of the things that could be put like just once a month. The next part is start looking at your strengths and their strengths. We all have things that we are good at. It turned out that I was actually better at finances than my partner, so I might as well do the finances. Maybe somebody's good at doing the laundry and is good at getting all the stains out of everything in the laundry. Maybe that's the person who should always take the laundry. But start with who's good at what. Step 4 is you should balance out who has the most time to do what tasks. Now, most of you might be thinking that things need to be fair, like you should cut everything down straight half and half, and one person does all these things and the other person does just as many things. What's fair is not always what's right. You have to take in mind like who does what in their day jobs. Maybe somebody has a lot of physical work that they do in their day job and they come home and they don't want to take on so many physical tasks at home. They just want to do maybe some of the tasks that take more of the mind or the thought process. Or one person is just a part-time worker or works from home. And maybe that person can go ahead and put a lot of laundry in during breaks just to get up out of their seat and do things during the day. Look at who has the most time and can do the best job. As you begin assigning tasks, You can start with what you want to do, but somewhere along the line, you're going to get to those things that you don't want to do. I don't like doing dishes. I never have liked doing dishes. I had to do it from the time I could step up onto a chair in my parents' kitchen and reach into that soapy water and wash those dishes. Really, when I was a kid, I thought it was going to be fun, but after week after week after week and year after year after year of doing dishes, I really could care less if I ever did another dish again. So those are tasks that I can't stand. But somebody in your household has to do those tasks. You don't want to be sitting around with a bunch of dirty dishes that keeps piling up and piling up. That's just gross. With those tasks that you can't stand and your partner can't stand them, maybe you take turns with them. Maybe this week you do them all week long and then your partner does them the entire week next week. But do not just always put them on one person just because you don't want to do them. So there might be some tasks that neither you nor your partner want to do or know how to do. So just hire those out. Don't expect somebody to do them if it's just something that you don't want to do. Look in your money, budget, do whatever. Maybe you do an extra hour a week of overtime just to have somebody come in for an hour a week or even an hour a month to take some of those tasks off your plate. One of the things we started doing in our household is we started renovating, and we renovated many different things. But when it got to the point of the doors and hanging doors, I thought that was not such a hard task to do, but it wasn't something I knew how to do or wanted to do. But I soon realized that my partner David didn't want to do those doors. He started doing them, and his perfectionism in the whole thing started getting to him, and he couldn't get the doors just perfect. So this is something in our own household we had to hire out for. If you have children, it's time to involve your children. Maybe this becomes a family meeting where you do this as a family, where you sit down and you find the tasks that need to be done. Children need to know that they are vital and that they are part of the household and helping in their household as well. Plus, you want to start them early, getting used to those chores. Otherwise, they're going to be grown and not know how to do anything. So those are my tips on how to break up the chores around your house, and I hope that you get started on them right away. If you have not read my book, one of the things that I start with is responsibility and taking responsibility for things in your relationship. So if you're interested in that chapter, I'm going to give it away to you free. Just go ahead and click on the link below. Read that, and if you like my book, just go ahead over to Amazon. I'll also put a link to that in the description, and buy the book so that you can see what I mean by the created relationship and having your relationships created instead of having relationships that just happen to you. Be sure to subscribe, and if you know anybody else who's struggling with setting up chores in their relationship, go ahead and share this with them. Hit that bell so that you get notifications of when I upload my next video. All right, folks, bye-bye.